Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are going to completely rewire how you think about getting bigger and stronger. Look, if you've ever felt like you're just grinding away for hours in the gym, sweating through literally every shirt you own, but your physique just isn't changing, well, there's a fundamental misconception holding you back, and we're gonna fix it right now. I want you to think of your body like a massive construction site. When you go to the gym, you aren't actually building the house. You are just dropping off the blueprints and submitting the work order. That's it. The actual construction, the true building of new muscle, happens entirely off-site. It happens while you're sitting at your desk, while you're sleeping, and honestly, while you are doing absolutely nothing.
Okay, let's dive into this. On one side, we have this persistent beginner myth. It's the idea that muscle actually grows while you're sweating under a heavy barbell, repping out set after set. But the reality? It is entirely different. You do not build muscle at the gym, you break it there. When you train, your brain sends a signal, your motor neurons fire, and your muscle fibers contract. And if the load you're lifting is heavy enough, your body recruits its biggest, most powerful fibers to handle the job. But the actual growth, the physical addition of brand new tissue, happens long after you leave the building. You're basically running a demolition site for an hour so you can build a bigger skyscraper over the next 2 days.
So how does the body actually know it's time to start building? Well, when your muscle fiber is under load, and especially while it is lengthening under that load, it physically deforms, it stretches. And this deformation is absolutely crucial. The fiber literally senses that physical tension, and it triggers a specific molecular signal called mTRC1. Now, for the sake of making this super simple, think of mTRC1 as the site foreman on your construction project. When it senses that intense physical tension, it blows the whistle and tells your entire body to start building new, bigger muscle proteins. That process is called hypertrophy. The foreman is hired, the whistle is blown, and the crew is ready to work.
Now, a 2025 review from McMaster University, which is one of the top sports science programs in the world, by the way, confirmed a massive paradigm shift in how we understand this. Your muscle actually doesn't need to be torn to grow. It just needs to be loaded. Physical tension does the work, not physical damage. You know that deep, crippling soreness you've been chasing for years? That's just inflammation. It's literally the cleanup crew sweeping up the mess. It is not the foreman building new walls. And I mean, you wouldn't pay a construction crew just to sweep, right? Think about marathon runners. They are physically destroyed for a full week after a long race. I mean, they can barely walk, but they do not come back with bigger legs because damage does not equal growth. Tension equals growth.
And timing is where most people completely ruin their progress. The actual building process, muscle protein synthesis, starts right after your workout finishes. It peaks around 24 hours after your session. But by hour 48, the window closes. It drops basically back to baseline. The construction crew has packed up their tools, locked the gates, and gone home. If you train your back on Monday, for example, and you don't touch it again until next Monday, your muscles were actively growing for exactly 2 days and then sitting completely idle for 5. That lingering soreness you feel on Thursday, again, that's just the cleanup crew sweeping up. Hitting a muscle group twice a week isn't just a nice little fitness tip, it is the mathematical difference between your muscles growing for 2 days a week or growing for 4.
So the absolutely crucial point here is maximizing that tension to get the foreman's attention in the first place, right? Well, the magic number is 40%. Your muscles can actually handle about 40% more force on the lowering phase of an exercise, which is known in sports science as the eccentric phase, than they can on the lifting phase. The lowering phase of a pull-up or the slow descent of a dip, that is where the tension on the muscle fiber is at its absolute highest. That is exactly where mTRC1, our foreman, gets hit the hardest. And yet, crazily enough, this is exactly where almost everyone leaves their gains on the table.
Most people treat the lowering phase, that eccentric phase of a rep, like it's just a boring commute between the real work. They push the weight up, drop it down fast, heave it back up, and count the rep. But your muscles cared most about the part you just rushed right through. To achieve what we call the perfect descent, you want to explode on the way up, yes, but do not rush the drop. Lower the weight for a minimum of 3 seconds. Honestly, it should feel uncomfortably slow. By simply slowing down the lowering phase of whatever lift you're doing, you are drastically increasing the physical tension, keeping the foreman screaming at the crew to build more muscle. Your gains will absolutely go bananas from this one simple change.
But remember, the building happens off-site, and the primary shift for your construction crew is when you are fast asleep. Just one bad night of sleep reduces muscle protein synthesis by a staggering 18%. Let that sink in. We aren't talking about a whole week of severe insomnia. We are talking about a single night of tossing and turning, causing nearly a 1/5 drop in your body's ability to build muscle. The foreman is on site shouting orders, but your workers basically went on strike because you decided to binge watch a show until 2 a.m.
And if you string a few of those bad nights together, the consequences are genuinely disastrous. Just 1 week of sleeping 5 hours a night drops your testosterone by 10 to 15%. Hormonally speaking, that is the exact same decline you would expect from aging a full 10 years, condensed into a single week. You are essentially turning your body into a senior citizen right when it's supposed to be in its absolute prime building mode. You cannot expect a massive skyscraper to go up if the whole operation is running on fumes.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when we put this whole concept to the test. In a major sleep deprivation study, researchers took 2 groups of people. They fed them the exact same diet and they put them in the exact same calorie deficit. The only difference between the 2 groups was how much they slept. In the group sleeping less, they lost 60% more muscle and 55% less fat. Just look at those numbers. Same exact food, same exact workouts, completely different results. If you are tracking your workouts perfectly, writing down every set and rep, but you're scrolling on your phone in bed until 1 a.m., you are destroying your own progress. Sleep isn't just a lifestyle tip for feeling refreshed, it is literally where the physical growth happens.
So, sleep is half the recovery equation. The other half is protein. We know mTORC1 just told your body to build new muscle, but if your protein intake is off, the signal fires and absolutely nothing gets built. You basically paid the crew, they showed up to the site, but you completely forgot to order the bricks. Studies consistently show people underestimate their food intake by up to 50%. You probably think you're eating enough protein, but let's be real, you're probably not. This is where you need to remove the guesswork entirely, and the MacroFactor app is honestly the best way to do it. It tracks your food, actually learns your unique metabolism, and adjusts your targets every single week based on how your body is actually responding. It builds a dynamic plan specifically around you. Plus, with their photo logging, you just snap a quick picture of your plate and it calculates the macros instantly. You can use the code YELLOWDUDE for a free 14-day trial to get your materials in order. The link for that is right in the description.
Finally, if you want this construction project to last months and years, you have to master progressive overload. You must load your muscles progressively harder over time. Because doing the exact same number of pull-ups every single week forever isn't progressive overload. That's just maintenance. You need increasing tension to keep the project moving. You can achieve this through harder exercise variations, throwing on a weighted vest, or, as we discussed earlier, using even slower eccentrics on the way down. You have to give the foreman a reason to keep demanding more from the crew, month after month, year after year.
So, the next time you limp out of a gym session thinking you totally crushed it, I want you to remember, the crushing part is over. What happens in the next 48 hours is the whole game. You loaded the muscles, you gave the work order, you did the demolition. But your construction crew is waiting. Did you order the materials? And are you going to actually let them sleep? Feed the body right, sleep deep, and then get out of the way so the work can happen. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.